No, Bridgerton is not about race. And the reason everybody loves the show is that it's really about... What strikes some people is that in this show, set in early England 19th century, the Queen is black. You have people of color everywhere in court in UK's Regency era. And yes, it's historically inaccurate. But according to this philosopher from Leiden University, that's all.
Well, plead your case.
In the series, race changes nothing. Lords are still lords and ladies are still ladies. Commoners are still commoners. What changes, however, is gender. Specifically, power and gender. If you think about it, there is no male leader in the entire show. The king, mad. Lord Edmund Bridgerton, dead. Lord Archibald Featherington, a fool and dead. Lord Jack Featherington, number 2, a penniless moron. Sharma's father, not here. The Duke of Hastings doesn't want to further the line. There's not even a single cop or a soldier in the show.
Well, he's been dramatized by philosophers as the empty place of the prince.
All the decisive figures are women. The Queen, Lady Danbury, Lady Featherington, and Lady Whistledown. A character who writes gossip about life at court and everybody fears. We'll get back to it because it's the main point of the show. So, where does that leave men? Well, they all struggle with power. Take Anthony Bridgerton. He's all the time faking to be his dead father, playing at being the man of the house.
But he can't do it. And the whole trajectory, his psychological trajectory in season 2, is to come to learn that he cannot be his own father. And he needs to apply a new way of being a family leader. He tries to act like the man he thinks his father was. And it's dubious that his father in fact was that man.
Anthony is just looking for an old-fashioned marriage, where he would be dominant over his bride. But spoiler alert, that fails. So what saves him and other men? Love.
I love you.
Actually, it's when he starts behaving out of love and not out of dominance that he finds true leadership.
When the Sheffields visit the Bridgertons, and Anthony, for the first time in fact, has an act of leadership by kicking the Sheffields out, by saying that it's their racism that made them unacceptable to good society. That's a moment of shift because he stands up.
His love makes him do the right thing. It's even more striking in this super moving scene from the show.
The king makes an appearance in each of the 2 sessions, and it's really interesting. In both cases, he makes an appearance not as a political authority, but in fact as the husband of the queen. Namely, someone who reminds the viewer and reminds the whole town that love is the only thing there is to live for. He's lost his mind. The only thing he remembers is his love for the queen. And these are very powerful moments where the performance of the actor is superb.
They only stop being weird when they stop being alpha males and rule out of love. Interesting, eh? Okay, that's for men. I hear you say, wait a minute, the women's power in this show is not that cool either. It's a lot of scheming and gossiping and manipulation. And you're right. And that the other super fascinating point that Dr. Sharuqi is making here, beyond the gender point, the show tells us how power works in our society today. And it's not glamorous. Bridgerton shows the historic moment when society moved from hard power to soft power. Let me explain. Hard power is coercion, force, intimidation, violence, and threat. Soft power, on the other hand, is more diffuse. It's a form of consent, power that controls you thanks to you and everyone contributing to it. According to philosopher Michel Foucault, it is self-regulation. It's social control. In Bridgerton, there's no army, no police, no judges, yet everything is super controlled. How does that work? Everyone accepts to give up their privacy so that everybody controls each other. The new weapon is gossip. The role of social media is crucial in it. Hence, the true power of Lady Whistledown.
My name is Lady Whistledown. You do not know me, but I know you.
Rings a bell? Yes, it is arguably how power works in our society today. Over to you, Dr. Shrouki.
When we talk of the economy of information these days, how the consumer is the product because our data gathered by Facebook, Twitter, etc. becomes itself a resource that drives a certain economy, but also controls us. We have visibility as a mechanism of power. It's a kinder, gentler form of power, but it's also a very, very overwhelming one. But for Foucault, he thinks soft power is the end of everything good because we can't get out of it.
And this all started with the Regency era and families like the Bridgertons. Okay, that's it. Tell us what you think in the comments and follow That's Why for meaningful news videos to understand our world and act on it. Make sense, make a difference.